Hello everybody and welcome to the Brit and Yankee Pub. I'm Phil Clark, the Brit. This is another instant brew review and I'm with Ken McMullen and we're feeling pretty stout. Hi Ken.
Hey Phil, how's it going?
It's going great. And you're sounding good. You've got a new little microphone like me, right? Well, we're getting pretty professional at this, I tell you.
No, I need all the help I can get.
Well, it's kind of coming to the winter, and I think a young man's taste turned to stout for some reason, some sort of thicker beer. We have a couple of stouts here that they're not kind of mainstream. In fact, I came across one of them in a local superstore, and I said, wow, I've not seen that before. And the other one I came across in our old cut price friend, Aldi. So how about we give them a taste and let's see what we have first. Now you've got them there, right?
Yeah.
All right, good man. Well, good. So let's go with the first one. I'm going to put this one to the side, which is going to be our second beer. And we're going to focus on this one. This one is called Maguire's Draft Stout. There we are. We have it there. And Maguire's Stout, as I say, comes from Aldi. And I looked at it and I said, wow, that looks kind of interesting. Checked out who the brewery was, and it was called the State of Brewing, which is in Wisconsin. Have you ever heard of them? I'm going to open this.
I have not heard of them, Phil.
So and you go ahead and pour yours. Pull yours up there. There we go. We'll do a synchronized pour. Beautiful. So when I looked it up, it said that State of Brewing was a division or owned by another brewery in Wisconsin. That's looking good there. Oh, I like that. Another brewery called Octopi. And I've had some Octopi beers, and they seem to be pretty decent. So I had high hopes for this. So Irish, well, this says draft stout. I'm going to assume by the name that it's an Irish draft stout. I'm going to sniff yours. I'll say that again. I'm going to sniff mine, and you tell me what you think of yours while I'm doing that.
Well, I get a lot of roast notes, kind of bitter roast notes in the nose.
Yep.
It's nice and dark. It's actually, if you look at the edge of it, it's very clear.
Yep. I'm going to sip mine while you sip yours. Now you tell us what you think.
Okay. Yeah, roasty. It's light, very light bodied. Roasty in the finish. A little creamy finish too.
Yeah, it is very light bodied. I would agree with that 100%. This is, if you're looking for something with a little more feel to it, and when we come to our next beer, that's kind of what I look for when I'm drinking a stout. This one doesn't have a bad taste. It doesn't have a bad mouthfeel. It doesn't have a bad finish. Should it be drier than this?
It's fairly dry, but it's not as dry as Guinness. It's really a light beer. I know it's 4.2%. It says on the label, which is along the lines of Guinness.
Yep.
I think Guinness is about 4 or maybe even less than 4. But this is really good especially for probably a discount beer, right?
Correct. It was $5.99 a 6-pack, coming in bottles, and I've only seen it in one Aldi, so I've got a feeling it's kind of a limited release. I don't think there's any details as to when it was actually brewed, but I would say this is probably a macro brew that will hang around for a while. There's no major hops in it, right?
No, not at all. And as my level in my glass is going down, I've got a white box under the laptop here, and I can see through it. It's like a really deep, dark brown. It's not a black stout.
Right.
So it might be a little light there, but it's a well-made, tasty beer, worth $5.99, I'd say.
Oh, so are we going to give it a thumbs up? Great. We'll give it a thumbs up. Okay. We'll come back in just about 10-15 seconds with our second beer. And we're back. And this beer sitting in front of me now surprised me when I saw it on the shelf. This is Imperial Stout, aged in bourbon barrels. Not so much of a surprise right yet, but it's from the fine folks at Guinness. This is a Guinness Stout that is a bourbon barrel aged one. Now, Ken, have you ever heard of that?
Not from Guinness, no. The first I heard was when you called me and said you were looking at it.
All right. Well, I thought this was well worth a try. Guinness always produces a great product. So do you have your opener? All right. You go ahead, open yours. I got my opener over here, so I can do it on the side. I like doing it on the side. Ooh. There we go.
That was a real quiet.
It was a real quiet one. So let's do a little pour of this. So in looking into the information about Guinness, it turns out that this beer apparently is brewed in Dublin, and that pours out really nice. I like that a lot. Let's give the camera a quick shot of that. There we go. This is brewed in Dublin, brought over to Baltimore, where they have, I guess, a production plant. And then it's aged in bullet bourbon barrels for up to 18 months. Aroma?
Whiskey.
Whiskey?
Right off the bat.
Is that the same as bourbon?
Yes. Well,
okay, good.
Bourbon is whiskey, but whiskey is not necessarily bourbon.
Oh, okay. Well, this is bullet bourbon. And again, it's a Kentucky one. And there is a relationship between Bullet and Guinness, and they're both owned by Diageo, which is the corporate entity. I think they're headquartered up in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So there's obviously some sort of thing, there's a synergy there going on. All right, it's definitely whiskey. Have you tasted it?
Not yet.
Okay, let's do it.
That's nice.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it's definitely the color that you would expect a Guinness Stout to be. It doesn't have the same head because it hasn't got that little widget inside it, but it does have the head that you would expect, I think, from a bourbon barrel aged beer. This is really viscous.
Whoa. It's very strong of whiskey. But it's not unpleasant. Now, I like bourbon, so.
Okay. And right at the end of it, I'm getting this most tremendous kind of vanilla notes. That was the first thing that came up to me. Let's take another sip.
Mm. Oh, man. The flavors are really blended together well. This is really a nice beer.
This is not like any bourbon barrel-aged beer I've had before, because I think you're right. It's more on that whiskey side. There's not so much of that.
But not the hot part. Like you get a lot of flavor out of this and not a lot of burn. It is 10.3%, so it's definitely not a light beer.
And it does have a wonderful label on it, all in gold, and it says Open Gate Brewery, which I think is the one that's in Baltimore. They call that. Right. Unless that's the one in St. James. Is it St. James Brewery in Dublin, I think. I've never been there. Have you been there, Ken?
No, not yet.
We'll get there.
I think St. James Gate is the one in Ireland, and then definitely the other one is in Baltimore. Yep. Open Gate.
Open Gate. There we go. If I didn't know it was Guinness, I don't know that I could have picked that up, but maybe that's what makes the flavors different.
Well, and what was the price on this?
Well, this was a little more expensive. This kind of came in. These are what, 12 fluid ounce bottles?
They're like 11.2.
11.2. Yeah. They came in 4 of these at $17.99. Now, that was at a big supermarket. You might be able to find it cheaper somewhere else. You might be able to find it more expensive somewhere else. When you consider that a 22-ounce bomber is usually somewhere in the region of, $17, $18, and these are in individual size, one serving, if you will. Right. I think that's not bad. What do you reckon?
I think that's a good price. It's a bourbon barrel-aged stout that you're not. I wouldn't be inclined to save it. It's like you buy it and drink it. And
now I am going to save a bottle of it. I want to see what happens in a year or so.
that's a good idea.
And when you're getting 4 of them, it's kind of good that you can do that. So, but yeah, so a couple of good stouts for the winter months. And I agree with you on that last comment. This is definitely one that you can enjoy if you want something with a little chutzpah to it.
There's no burn, no heat. Oh, I just hit my mic. I got to get used to that.
Oh, yeah, actually, I get a little burn in the mouth, but I'm not getting anything going down. It's very smooth. I think this is another quality product from the fine folks at Guinness.
I agree.
So that's our instant brew review for today. A thumbs up to McGuire's. I think we're giving this 2 thumbs up for the Guinness bourbon
I will too.
Imperial Stout, aged in bourbon barrels. Let's give it its official name. I don't have another glass with me, so I'm going to use the bottle. And as always, it's thanks for watching. Thank you, Ken, for giving us your benefit of your opinion. And it's cheers from me.
And cheers from him.
Oh, it didn't give me a ding.
Got to get the neck.
Oh, I got to hit the neck. Okay. Oh, not that neck. Okay, here we go. Oh, bloody hell.
The glass is too full.
How about this? Ding!